So I heard about this experience last year at MUSEXPO. They had a little booth in the other room and I was able to experience it on headphones, and it was the most calming thing I had ever experienced. That's why I'm here, to experience actually it in a room. I heard there are new recording techniques that were tried, so I'm here to just kind of experience and learn about it more.
Satya and I met at my office, and after a 20-minute experience with ASE, I had never felt so cleansed mentally, physically, spiritually. Thank you so much for taking the time to join Satya and the ASE team for what will be a remarkable experience if you haven't already had a chance to partake in Alchemic Sonic Environment.
I have a really difficult time letting go of anxious thoughts. And it was fascinating when I blocked out the lights with the mask and I tried really hard to just let go and listen and relax. And it's like when everything else goes away, you can hear those thoughts more loudly. And it was interesting to, have a sound to try to help guide myself, something that I would encourage anyone to do.
As an engineer, you're EQing and carving out frequency and stuff. So how did you approach this?
Most spatial audio today is being composed and spatialized after it's been recorded, but I was really focused on wanting to capture the resonances of the spaces between each instrument. That's why we had to even change the way we recorded it.
It was a beautiful experience. I feel relaxed. Actually, during the moment, some of the pains and things were coming up as I was feeling the music, and it kind of was just a very beautiful sonic bath that I've never experienced in my life before. It was kind of similar to one of those a sensory tank where you are removed of sound, and that kind of experience where you're kind of just focusing on one thing the whole time.
Is there a link between the frequency used and phi?
The Fibonacci sequence, the harmonic series is at the root of all of these things, and that is throughout nature. It's this whole universe of sound that opens up to you, and I think Satya's work enables us to begin to explore sound in this way, and it's this whole new landscape out there waiting for musicians to explore. It's a really exciting time.
It felt like time travel, a lost concept of time and space. I was completely in my own universe, and it felt like the time was stretched to infinity, and it was very little time at the same time. So it was zero and infinity to get it together.
I just experienced what was the most relaxing, out-of-body experience. I fell in a deep trance. It was just so relaxing. I felt healing energy for sure, and I felt safe. If I felt like nothing could hurt me, and I just felt like nothing bad could happen in the world.
You talk with all the greatest songwriters in the world, and they'll tell you that music comes from beyond. They don't know where it comes from. So they get these songs their antenna is up. So in that way, you have to be open in the same way music heals, because your mind is just open to the connection and to what it's bringing you.
It's critically important for people to start to understand the relationship with how music brings them into their body, like breath, like voice, like the music of nature, like all of these things. And sound is a very important tool to do that. But people have forgotten how. So, if you give them more and more experiences, it becomes easier for them to feel that, and they start to retune to that in the rest of their life.
The essence of what we're looking for is the essence of who we each are. And music is a very powerful pathway to help us find that. We come to it as artists as a tool for our health and well-being, almost in a way to help us hold on to our essence in the middle of a chaotic world.
The key is not just listening, not just being open, but actually deepening one's listening.
That was actually insane, because I definitely come into most of these things kind of pessimistic or realistic, however you want to call it. It was I ascended. It was incredible. It's the most different thing. I think I've seen the Sphere, I've been to a lot of these Dolby Atmos things, and this was by far one of the most healing experiences even within 5 minutes.
Alchemic Sonic Environment as a framework is really here to be able to help us connect the most fundamental ancient wisdom, to really go to a completely next dimension that can help us actually living a healthier life.
It was so pleasurable, and it was a very happy place. It kind of reminded me of being floating in space with no agenda, no time. You just kind of let it take you, and then you just go with it.
The new music journey is going to be so exciting because of all the history we have of the masters of music and creation, but then we connect it to a greater purpose for health and well-being. We're saying everybody can access this if we start to listen and create in this way.